This year, Erev Pesach, the day before the festival of Passover, falls out on Shabbos. And because of that, there's a special halacha mentioned in Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, chapter 115, halacha 4, which tells us, Baboker in the morning, mispalim b'hashkoma. We get up early to pray early in the morning. Shelo la'acher hazman shemutarin b'achilas chometz, not to delay the time that is allowed for us to eat chometz, leavened bread, by. And it's correct to divide one's meal into two. And it's referring to lunch. Shabbos lunch should be divided into two. That means to say one should eat something and then say grace after meals. And then interrupt a little bit with a walk and words of Torah or a stroll. And then to come back, wash one's hands for the meal and eat something, eat a little bit, and then to say grace after meals again. In order to fulfill the requirements, the commandment of the third meal. And the question here is, why do we do this? Why are we creating out of lunch two meals? It's really one. It's really, as the halacha itself says, it's correct to divide one's meal into two. It's one meal. It's one's meal. Why are we creating out of the natural something which is artificial? Why we are creating out of the pragmatic something which is symbolic? And herein lies a very profound and essential message of Judaism. And that is that Judaism teaches us to start off in the natural order, to behave in a pragmatic, worldly way. And then it tells us, stop, interrupt that, engage in the rituals and the symbols that have been given to us from above. And the reason for that is not for the symbols and the rituals themselves, but for the lessons and the messages that the symbols and the rituals contain that take us back into the natural world, this time inspired, enlightened, enriched, empowered to enter the natural order again, but to lift it up and to make it better and to bless it with a greatness that we would not have been able to do if we had not left the natural order in the first place. The third meal on Shabbos is a beautiful illustration of this concept. We don't eat a third meal on Shabbos because we're hungry. We eat a third meal not for the Shabbos, but for after Shabbos. Because that teaches us that what we do on Shabbos is not essentially and ultimately for the Shabbos itself. And so it is with all Jewish ritual and all Jewish symbol. It's not for the ritual and the symbol themselves. It's for the message they contain, which are always directed to bringing us back into the world after Shabbos, back into the 6 days of creation, to improve it, to uplift it, to better it, and to bless it. This is what's contained in this halacha of on Shabbos, don't just eat lunch. Interrupt that lunch with a third meal to remind us that all that we do in the natural order is in order to allow us to include a divine symbol and a divine ritual which will teach us to take that natural order and to develop it and to enlarge it and to make it greater, and afterwards to re-enter the natural order and to bless it and to make it great.